Ladies, gamers, and gentlemen, welcome to BelleNOiR's Starcraft 2 cast on YouTube. This time we're going to be having a look at Deemo versus Suppy. The game is going to be played on Yonsu, and as far as I know, this is a ladder game. Let me just enable the sound there. So, spawning in the lower left position on Yonsu, we have Deemo, the red Terran player, and in the top right it is going to be from Team Evil Geniuses, the blue Zerg player Suppy. Now I have checked the rankings of both of these guys. Suppy currently rank 2 on the North American ladder. Of course, as the rankings change every single day, basically, it might not be true at this time, or maybe at the time of you viewing this cast. His opponent, Deemo, approximately 1000 point Grandmaster level player, rank 32 or so. So, Yonsu, it's a very weird map for me to describe. I mean, there are a couple of features that you have to highlight when you're playing on Yonsu. One of those are these rocks that are between your natural and your third base, but of course you can take your third base here, bypassing the rocks entirely, and here you have the collapsible rock tower that you can close off this entrance, and then you have only this one to worry about. There's a lot of entrances into your territory, and we can see that Deemo, he's starting to build that wall off at the top of the ramp. Suppy scouting with a drone for possible proxy rexes. Of course, these visibility blockers, they also play a role in this. That is why Suppy went all the way to here. Did want to get a peek behind those, just to be sure, before that Overlord arrives. And now that he pretty much knows that there are no proxy shenanigans going to be going on, as his Overlord is closing in onto the Terran's location, he's just going back. He's going to very calmly build his hatchery here. He's going to follow that up with a pool, take a gas, and take it from there. What the Terran player is doing, however, he is getting a gas and already getting a Reaper. So, very quick gas here for the Terran player. And he's going to be getting 2 Reapers, actually. So, one Reaper that is an annoyance for the Zerg player that he has to deal with. Has to wait, has to buy time, basically, with good micros, saving his drones as much as he can. And a few Zerglings that he pretty much has to produce until the Queens are out. When the Queens are out, 1 Queen per base can defend versus 1 Reaper very, very well, but with 2 Reapers it's a little bit more difficult, and we can see the first Reapers coming in. 4 Zerglings are on the field already. Suppy instantly pulling drones, and this Reaper so far has gotten only, 0 kills so far. Actually, we'll get that 1 Zergling gets 1 kill, but 0 drones have been lost so far, as Deemo is getting his expansion, and he's going to follow this up with a factory. Probably we'll see a reactor being put down here on the barracks very, very shortly here. Yep, there's the reactor. So the follow-up to this is clear cut. It is going to be Hellions. That 1 Reaper doing good job over here. But still, 0 workers lost, and well, both Reapers actually are alive. I do not know why the second Reaper has not joined the fight, as we do see the bunker going down for Deemo. I have no idea why that Reaper was just chilling there. And this is actually a cool thing. Look at this little small cliff here that you can use to jump up the high cliffs that usually the Reapers cannot jump over, as this is 2 stories high, so to speak. But yeah, Deemo just poking in every now and again, trying to ascertain what his opponent is doing exactly. Suppy going to get this Overlord in position and see the starport. That is good scouting information for him, actually. And it's going to be Hellions. Stimpack is going to be queued up just about now to allow for a later infantry follow-up to this. As the Reapers continue to scout around and Suppy is getting his lair, interestingly enough, he hasn't gotten link speed. and it doesn't look like, yeah, just now queuing up the link speed. That is a fairly late link speed, which will make those Hellions all the more effective. And together with the Reapers, you know, if you have only Lings and Queens to defend, Reapers and Hellions can really ruin your day. Suppy doing good job of spreading creep though, and he's got a good amount of Queens, so he should be just fine. But still, it's going to be a little bit more difficult as compared to having that link speed and having enough lings out. You know, that is why Suppy is getting this spine crawler at the entrance. And let us see, more Hellions, more and more Hellions coming out. Now switching over to Widow Mines, now that his Hellion count is sufficient. He would be wise to get rid of all these creeps. I'm waiting for a scan to go down. I don't know if he's got enough energy so far for it. And with this many queens, I don't think there is a high chance of those Hellions actually getting out and getting up that ramp. Here is a really cool move that I would love to see more Terran players do. Just get one Viking before your medevacs and get rid of those overlords. The more overlords you kill with that one single Viking before the mutalisks are out, the better for you, because it will make it so that dropping your opponent will be a little bit easier. Now, a couple lings have been killed off here. The Spire is almost done though for Suppy, and he's got quite a bit of gas banked up, so he will be able to produce 6 or maybe 8 mutalisks even. I'm thinking more closer to 6. Because he also wants to be getting upgrades and stuff for his ground army. The stim pack is almost finished, and we can see Deemo doing a good job microing. Suppy even forced to transfuse one of those queens, but still, Deemo not successful in denying Suppy's creep spread, which is quite crucial, because with that creep, you know, the Zerg is going to feel pretty comfortable. Not only he's got vision, but he's got the mobility. He can defend these 3 bases very easily. And actually on Yeonsu, now that you look at it, as soon as you have the creep over here, you can take your 4th base very, very quickly there, and still be very fine defending it. Now this Widow Mine getting 0 kills because the drone hit in the extractor. These 2 Widow Mines though, they have gotten good kills. 1 kill there, 1 kill there. Suppy spreading and splitting his drones just immaculately, and if we look at the drone loss count, actually he lost 22 drones, so there must have been a good explosion going off in the main base before he pulled those drones away. Oh, but he loses all of his Hellions, getting cornered here by the Lings. Fortunately here for Deemo, he already has his infrastructure established. He's adding on 2 additional barracks. If we look at the upgrades, there are 0 right now, but 1-1 on the way for the Terran players. Suppy still not getting his upgrades, favoring to get faster mutas. This, I actually love this choice quite a bit. Getting mutas out as fast as you can, and then, you know, with the +1 air upgrades, while delaying your ground upgrades for the Lings, it can work out really well. But Suppy unfortunately runs into 2 Widow Mines consecutively. Now both of them get only 1 kill each, but the important thing is those mutas are now really damaged. They are at half health most of the time, and this pretty much means that Suppy cannot use them, at least for a while, until they get back into full health. Right now we see +1/+1 queued up by Suppy, but the Terran player is going to be ahead in upgrades considerably here, as he's trying to establish his 3rd base. And I feel with the 1-1 finishing and enough medevacs in the air, this will be the time when the Terran player will start moving out. More Widow Mines being dropped into the main base though, and Suppy looks like he's underestimating the Widow Mine harassment capabilities of his opponent a little bit here, as there is no detection. Just now the Overseer is coming in just in time as well to pick off those Widow Mines before that 40-second cooldown timer on the firing trigger reset. The total number of workers killed is 26 for the Terran player, and it looks like he's a little bit ahead in economy. With the mules, he'll be able to mine quite a bit of minerals from this base, and as soon as this kicks in, his production will kick into overdrive, and yeah, with 1-1, medevacs, combat shields, a lot of production behind this. The Terran player is thinking of moving out. He is taking control of the map for the time being, as the Mutalisks are harassing here. Suppy trying to do a little bit of cute microing there, pulling back individual mutas, but not working out so much for him, because frankly the muta numbers were just not there yet. If we take a look at the unit counts, Suppy only just now began to make banelings. He's got 30 lings, only 9 banelings. That is just not enough to deal with this army. He's morphing in 4 more, as the Terran player is pushing in, killing all the creep tumors as he does go along, limiting Suppy's vision, and in time may force that creep to recede enough to make Suppy vulnerable. Widowmine's in pretty good positions, and now, you know, Deemo, he's looking to engage, he's looking to bait Suppy into engaging into those Widowmines without the Overseers. Here we go! And the Widowmines, well, they don't get good enough hits yet. Suppy avoiding that splash damage from them and still retaining his baneling count. That is the most important thing. And here come the banelings. Will the splits be good enough? No, Suppy retreating just in time before the engagement actually happens. Drilling Claws now being researched by Deemo. That will make the Widowmines all the more efficient. Especially it will allow the Terran army to move on the battlefield, or about the battlefield, a little bit faster. Deemo trying to find a position to engage from. It looks like he found it. He positioned himself onto the high ground, pre-split his army, and he's just going to be using a small group of units to engage the Zerg forces, try to bait him into going for an engagement. Oh, but not watching his units for a second there, and losing quite a lot of them to the banelings. But look at the Widowmine explosions taking out majority of the baneling forces here, and still enough Marines remaining to pose a significant threat to the Mutalisks. We have quite a lot of Mutalisks in the air, however, and Suppy being able to push this back. He might want to get rid of these Widowmines as well, and he will indeed do so. Deemo still has a couple of them, as far as I know. Yeah, 11 Widowmines. Most of them are back at the base defending, but here's the thing, Deemo, he's pretty much entrenched on his 3 bases. The Zerg is on 3 bases as well, and this is not a very good situation for Suppy. Even if we take a look at the supply, Suppy just does not have enough gas to produce as many units as he would ideally want to. Terran has 3-3 on the way for his ground army, whereas the Zerg is stuck on 1-1. The supplies are 170 versus 140. Deemo is pushing in. He also has a couple of Marines defending versus Mutalisk counterattacks back home. There are no options of backstabbing the Terran player right now, but some very, very, very good baneling connections decimate this force trying to push into the Zerg territory. Again, pre-splitting his Marines. Oh my god, banelings morphing in the absolutely wrong spot. If Deemo noticed this a little bit earlier, he could have forced a cancel onto those. Meanwhile, Mutalisks are targeting down these medevacs, and this is absolutely huge. If Deemo loses all of those medevacs, he will not be able to attack as cost efficiently for quite some time until he remakes those, and he is only producing 2 at a time. He even says ... as he did not consider that engagement to be very good himself. Suppy finally taking a 4th base, and looks like he's getting a foothold in this game. And I say finally because so far this has been Deemo's game as far as I'm concerned. If we take a look at the resources lost, we can see that this is indeed true. And oh, Suppy, knowing where the starport is located, he is doing a fantastic job trying to eat into the medevac production of his opponent. If we take a look here, only 3 medevacs out on the field, which means not a whole lot of drop capabilities and not a whole lot of healing during any engagement that might happen here. And this is good for Suppy, obviously. Without the medevacs, this army cannot stim as much, and you know, at this point in game, usually we see the Terran players with 12, 14 medevacs, something to that, close to that number. But Deemo only has 2 with this army. He has the Widowmines in a decent position, not the best position though. I would have liked them to be positioned over here. They are way too far back, and I don't think Deemo will be able to kite all the way back to them before being killed just like that with good baneling explosions. And the Mutalisk count for Suppy is still very, very, very high. 22 Mutalisks in the air, and we don't have that many Marines here. Deemo is reinforcing, but the rally point is all the way down here as Deemo is trying to hold on to the high ground. and Suppy morphing in more units. Look at the macro of Suppy just relentlessly making units and spending all that money, whereas Deemo is having a hard time producing all the stuff he needs and wants to be producing. The Widow Mines, though, are... well, they're being quite an annoyance here for Suppy, to be quite honest. He does have an Overseer, though, luckily. And now all of them have been triggered, and Suppy could go for this at this time. He's patiently sniping the Widow Mines, though, and waiting, biding his time, and looks like he'll be going for it right now. He's had enough. He's pushing this force back, and Deemo saying to himself, well, you know what, you're defending that like a maniac, so I'm just going to try and attack your third base at the same time as I'm putting pressure over here. I'm tying your army to this place. I'm just going to counterattack elsewhere, but at the same time, Suppy realizing, hey, he's pulling half his army elsewhere, so let me just defend that with the ground army and use the Mutalisks to defend this side of my territory. And look at the creep spread, oh my god, it's all the way almost to Deemo's base. Deemo trying to take a fourth base, planetary fortress as well, which will make it very, very, very safe. And Suppy, well, he is running out of minerals in his main base, but compared to Deemo, who's got no minerals to mine off of anyways, he's still a little bit better off. Now, the problem is for Suppy, 3-3 versus 2-2. No 3-3 on the way for the Zerg player. Suppy still playing on lair tech, but he is wiping out all of the forces here near the fourth base. Look at the massacre. Widow Mines or not, Suppy just has too many units, still has some banelings remaining, and he could go for a counterattack, but needs those good baneling hits, and for the time being, Deemo manages to push him back. Suppy remaking that Overseer because he lost all of those before. And yeah, the medevac count still staying fairly low for Deemo. And Suppy, does he have the lair finished yet? No, not even queued up. Suppy still playing this very DRG style game. DRG, one of the Zergs that is famous for playing on lair tech for extended periods of time, not only in his TvZs but also in his ZVPs. Now Suppy going to take out this base, very likely. No. 10 forces do go back in time. But yeah, Suppy doing what he can. Fortunately for Deemo, he's got units everywhere. And this map, unfortunately for Deemo, is one of those where you cannot trap the Mutalisks in between the bases. Suppy constantly looking for openings, and I think he will actually be looking to take a base over here. But yeah, the creep spread, he sees all the maps. See this? Creep tumors everywhere. Overlord spread, just awesome to see. And Deemo, he's gonna be having a hard time trying to get these drops in because of the vision that Suppy's got all over the place. Deemo could try and go for a couple of snipes on those Overlords. That would make his day a little bit easier. As it is, he's nearing max yet again, finally spending his money the way he should have been all the damn time, and he's pushing into the Zerg territory, sniping creep tumors, limiting the vision, and getting his Widow Mines into position. I would have loved those Widow Mines to be a little bit more spread apart. That would be a cool thing to see. But still, the upgrades are in favor of Deemo, and he should be taking very favorable engagement versus Suppy at this point in time. Suppy has to be careful not to run into very many Widow Mines. Nice pre-split on part of that army, and will the splits be enough? Suppy rolling in with all that he's got. The Banelings annihilating all the Marines here. Suppy defends his fourth base, pushes the Terran back, counterattacks with his Mutalisk numbers. Oh, I don't know if he's being a little bit too cautious here. The supplies are dead even for both of these players, and these Mutalisks, they have +2 upgrades. They could start taking these Marines out piece by piece, and that is exactly what Suppy is doing right now. Meanwhile, Deemo with very overstimmed Marines trying to counterattack here, but I think this pack of Ling Zergling will be able to take care of that, as the Mutalisks are coming back as well. Suppy on 62 drones still, on 4 bases, and Deemo, that fourth base is kind of a pain in the ass for him right now, so he's going to try and take care of it. But as I said before, with this map awareness that Suppy's got, and Deemo not doing anything about it, these drops will not get in most of the time. Even the Widow Mines being denied right now, and I don't know if Deemo actually can break even with Suppy here, or maybe even win the game. Map vision is everything right now for Suppy. And he does have almost all of the map covered with creep overlords. He knows about every single drop that might be coming in. He's taking a 5th base. Still a really close game. And it's becoming a game of mechanics at this point, quite honestly. Whoever has the better macro should probably end up winning this game. Suppy trying to ensure that he is the one getting the advantage, going to try and take out this planetary fortress, but the Marines do come in just in time. But he is evening out the worker kill tab. 53 workers killed by Deemo and 21 by Suppy. And right now we can just see Suppy abusing the architecture of the map, flying from one base to another, sniping as much stuff as he can, and with +2 attack on those mutalisks, he will be doing a lot of splash damage to the surrounding buildings, sniping add-ons wherever he can. That is the thing that will limit the Terran production the most, especially if the Terran is heavy on Marines. Sniping reactors onto the barracks really just screws them over. And it cuts their production down by half for approximately 60 seconds. Well, this was not a good move, Deemo, just losing that entire force there almost. Medevacs are going to try and hunt down that medevac, but the rest of the army is coming in, and so far I have to say Deemo has a really good macro here, as he's constantly staying on even terms with Suppy in terms of supply. And the game this is still anybody's game. And Suppy, you know, as long as he manages to use his mutas a little bit more aggressively at this point, with this many mutas, with those good upgrades, 29 mutalisks, I fear that is almost too much. We have 29 mutas and 66 marines. And, you know, the hive is done. +3 attack for the flyers have been just not queued up by Suppy. But with +3/+3 on the Marines, I don't know if this will be enough. Suppy might need to start mixing in infestors into his army just to be able to fungal down those Marines and add into the DPS of the mutalisks. Ooh, and losing overseers and getting his mutalisks splashed by the widow mines is not what you want to have happened in this position as Suppy. Especially if you don't have if you don't have any kind of bank. Suppy, true, he does have 3,000 minerals, but because of the amount of Zerglings he's been forced to make throughout this game, and the rate at which he's been taking expansions, which was relatively low, he's been slow to expand this game, his minerals are not as high. And when you lose the entire mutaflock, this is what is keeping Suppy alive, basically, and also the key to his victory here. As soon as he loses those mutalisks, he will probably end up losing the game, because the Marines will just be enough. But oh my goodness, look at this engagement by Suppy! Despite the splits and everything, Deemo just got crushed here, and Suppy is pushing forward. And right now, supplies are showing a huge lead in Suppy's favor. 115 supply versus 76, as he's splitting up his army, once again trying to go for this 4th base with the mutalisks. This is the only mining base currently for the Terran player, as he's running out of money very quickly here. Look at the mining per minute falling drastically almost to 0. So Deemo trying to counterattack here, trying to take out the space, but losing all the Marines apart from one. And I fear that with 0 mining going for him, this is Deemo's last-ditch effort. But Suppy is almost doubling him in supply at this point in time, and he still has mining going for him. Look at the bank. Now Deemo, as I said before, he has quite a lot of gas, but you don't want gas in this circumstance. You need minerals, because your backbone of the army are going to be the Marines, not ravens and ghosts. And Suppy is still doing pretty okay here. 300 minerals, 200 gas, and right now Deemo just does not have enough of an army to defend all of his bases. And he cannot, at this point in time, he cannot afford to lose anything. He cannot afford to lose a single command center. He cannot afford to be supply blocked. He cannot afford to lose his marines needlessly. And look at how small this force is. And Suppy, he's rolling in. He saw the force moving in towards his faraway base here. And yeah, Deemo, exactly. He just doesn't understand what the hell happened. And GG's out of the game. Suppy just out-macroing his opponent, it looks like. Ladies, gamers, and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. This was another one of BelleNOiR's Starcraft 2 casts, Deemo versus Suppy. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you have anything to say to me, post it into the comment sections below. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.